Thank you guys for being here. Today we have got Hamsa Vardhan who is presenting Preset, a construction tech startup. I'd like to welcome Hamsa. You
Thank you.
okay? We have got few investors total. We have got 9 or 10 investors who have showed the interest. Let me quickly take you the names. Alpesh Virani, Amar Burla, then there is Piyush Gupta, Dr. SP Srinivas Padala, Shreyas Anchar, Shubham is there, and there are 3 more investors who will join in some time. I'll quickly tell you about the Entie. Entie is a business dating platform where we are connecting startups with the investors and co-founder. It is free of cost now. We have got the WhatsApp community of almost 700 plus startups, 150 plus angel investors, and around 150 plus co-founders. As a part of building Entie and to help the startup founders to connect directly with the investors, we are having the pitch days. We have already done with the 2 pitch days. This is the 3rd pitch day, and there are 14 other pitch days are in line in this month only. So I'd like to welcome all the investors and Hamsa. Hamsa, you can start. I hope if you guys have any question, no, we can have the questions at the end of the pitching. Hamsa, you have got 15 minutes to pitch.
Sure.
Everyone else can unmute their self. And if you wish to open up your camera, I would love that because I would like to see the faces rather than screens. Over to you, Hamsa. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Yogesh. You've been a great support for me, and you have been guiding me on my journey in the past year or so. And I'm thankful for this opportunity. 1 or 2 people in this group I already know. We have interacted before, but it's nice. So the area which I grew up rather, my entire journey from when I was a teenager has been building and construction. Because I remember even when I was a small boy, I used to make models out of cardboard. So that passion for built environment, like we say, has been, I was born with it, I suppose, or I was wired like that. So this has been a fascination throughout, and which what led me to towards interior designing, furniture making, architecture. So that is the journey that I took. So I've always been aesthetically inclined. That means I loved craft, art, and the beauty of things. But I was also slightly engineering minded, because in the very beginning I wanted to become an inventor, as I can recollect my earlier days of what I wanted to be. So I wanted to combine engineering and art. So this is what my journey has been. Unconsciously, I'm saying it now, but I didn't know that is what I was looking for. So this led me to work with architects, some very famous architects in Bangalore. So I spent about 7 or 8 years working with architects. And then I started my own journey as a furniture maker and an interior designer. Started my own furniture company. In 2009, I started a company. And then in 2013-14, I started thinking of going back to my architectural roots with the construction technology. That's when I did research on 3D printing and container houses and precast and all that. In my understanding and experience of the field, I felt a technology from Australia was good. It's called light gauge steel frame. So we adopted that technology and we started a business called Entie Designers and Builders. It is a purely prefab construction technology. This is our, if you can see my camera, you can see this is our brochure. This is the technology. So we built buildings using galvanized steel frame. And we did some very wonderful projects in that. You can see this is one of our earlier buildings that we made. So if you go back, that you can see this was how it was built. It was basically built using galvanized steel frame. You can see here. So this is the technology we adopted. We built about 1.5 lakh square feet of this construction, even through COVID also. But I found this so-called advanced prefab technology, which allows you to customize the design and all that. It's computerized manufacturing, everything. But even that fell short of my expectation because it still took 6 to 7 months to build a house, which would have otherwise taken maybe 10 months, 12 months. So we shaved off about 3 months of time, which was not a big deal. But worse than that was I was dependent on masons, plumbers, material coming, material going. So much of that whole thing which I wanted to avoid, I could not avoid even with the so-called prefabrication technology. So I was disappointed. COVID gave us all time to reflect. So that's when I also started reflecting as to how to solve this problem of depending on people's skills, which is then when you cannot scale. So can I come up with a scalable building technology that doesn't depend on people hand building the buildings on site, and can it be manufactured, but without restricting on the design availability for the individual client? It was very important. I didn't want to give them some ready-made design which they had to choose from A, B, C, D. That would be again unscalable. So this is what I let me just quickly go to my presentation itself. So here I am presenting my pitch deck to you. So this is what we are now, our mission. Our mission is to build buildings without constructing them. So without the activity of construction. So the problem associated with building construction is construction itself, which is what everybody has been trying to solve. But most of them try to solve surrounding technology, the edge of it, basically the project planning and material procurement, quality control. So these are the things that people try to solve rather than the technology itself. Technology itself was solved in a very literal way, like pouring concrete by a machine, which we call 3D printing, instead of somebody building the wall, or making the walls in a factory, heavy walls, and carrying them with big cranes, and then assembling them, then again plastering them and painting them. So this was not really solving the problem, because the time taken to make things and the effort remained more or less the same. The dependency on skilled labor remained the same. So this messy, what you see on the screen, this slide, is deliberately messy because this is the kind of complex journey one takes from imagining trying to build a house or a school or a hospital or a hostel to actually getting it built on the site. So you would think everybody will run to an architect, but only 3 out of 100 people approach an architect, which means 97% of the people don't even go to an architect. They go looking for a thekedar who's reliable. But anyway, so that is the whole journey. So there's a lot of fear, anxiety. The whole journey is fraught with delays, cost escalation, etc. And the site itself, where the actual building is built, materials are dumped day in and day out. Lorries come, tractors come, trucks come. Materials are wasted. There's a lot of dust, noise, water. Mayhem happens. Laborers have to come. Different people have to come and do this whole dance. It's a very, very polluting, wasteful, noisy, and time-consuming process. So what is the solution to this? So I was thinking, suppose there is a grandson making a building using this toy items, and that the grandfather is thinking, can we do this with real buildings? So this is exactly the kind of technology that we have developed. So what we have developed, and since we are talking about real buildings, I'm talking about multi-story buildings up to 5 floors, 10 floors. We can't obviously literally play with those toy. So can we do the playing around, the designing in an app? So Preset is exactly that. Preset is a kind of like a toyification of construction and gamification of the design process. Anyway, nobody is going to the designer and pay. Why not gamify it? Why not I give them a platform where they can play around with the design, see the 3D, and at any time get the costing, look at it in a VR, AR technology, reach out to an architect if required to help with the design. All that happens virtually in an app, and all the items that you use to design the buildings are actually made and kept, or can be made at a very fast pace. So these can be brought to the construction site and literally just assembled. It comes pre-finished, pre-fitted with windows and doors, pre-fitted with electrical wiring, so that you don't need a plumber, electrician, carpenter, mason. None of these people are required. Painter, nobody is required, not even for a day. But any type of building can be imagined and designed and made at the shortest possible time in the whole world, because nothing can be shorter than just assembling things. So this is what Preset has set out to do. It's like a magic wand you just wave, and the whole problem of construction, the whole entire process is solved in one go. And that's Preset magic. All right. So this slide here looks a little complicated, but I'll simplify it for you. Basically, the ABCD is the process of actual from imagining a building concept to completion. But A for app, we'll start with A for app. You start with app. In the app, you can choose preloaded plans. You can modify the plans. You can make your own plans. You can get an architect to help you. You can get 3D. You can get accurate budgets, and you can place the order. All within the app. Once moment you place the order, once you design, this is basically a design discovery sales funnel. Once you discover the design and place the order, we'll short circuit the other process of legalities and all that. Let's say the order is placed. Immediately there is a order for dispatch goes to the either a warehouse or a factory, and one team, associate team, goes and prepares the ground, and that is the construction part. Subfloor, they prepare the foundation as per the engineering drawing given by the company. Meanwhile, a truck leaves the factory or a warehouse with tightly packed, flat packed, simple to use, lightweight, like IKEA for buildings, and only assembly happens on site. But don't get me wrong, there are any type of buildings can be designed. So this, for those who are a little bit engineering minded, wondering how is it possible. So this sort of explains, for example, this is like I've shown 3 floors, but we can go up to any number of floors. So the first, there is a skeleton made of galvanized steel. I can even pull it out here for you to show. So this type of galvanized steel components are developed by us, and these are all basically clicks into place. So this is the IP that we have developed, specific connectors which are load bearing. So these make up the structure. That's the load bearing part. Panels are made in variety of ways, which you can pick and choose and put them whichever way you like. And wiring happens inside the structure. That is one of the breakthrough. Usually people think wiring happens on the wall. The wiring happens inside the structure. Any number of floors can be built any size, vertically, horizontally. You can have hundreds of rooms. You can make hotels, hostels, schools, or just a small villa with just a single room and a toilet. No size restrictions, no usage restrictions. So this is a quick video. I don't have much time, but I'll just rush through. So this video shows the process. So we start with the base, which is basically the foundation. Then the components come from the factory, fully finished, no cutting, no welding, no grinding. Nothing is required, no measurement also required, because it all comes pre-cut, pre-welded, everything. So you just assemble the structure first, then the wall panels come pre-fitted with windows and doors as per the design, pre-painted. You just click them into place and turn a few things, and it is fixed. It is finished. You can do multi-story. Staircase also comes as parts that can be assembled on site. The roof is also, there is no wet work. There is no pouring of concrete and putting putty and putting cement. Nothing of that work is there. Roof panels are just placed into these structure, and it's done. The moment it's placed, it's done. There's no more finishing work, no painting even. Maybe at best there may be a touch of painting that may be required. And the configuration that in the app happens like this. I'll also fast forward this. So basically there is a grid, and you can literally drag and drop the walls the way you like to create whatever plan you want. Here I've shown a 3-bedroom house. Suppose you decide on a single bedroom or a toilet like this, what is being shown in the video. All we do is we send a team to do the foundation. Another team comes and assembles, and a small house like this, which is around 350 square feet, can be done in a matter of a week. I mean, you can move in and start living. That is when I say finished. We have also developed a very highly sophisticated this thing in collaboration with Snaptroot, which is a 100 crore funded company, but we are not proceeding with them because we don't want anything very complicated for our clients. All preset plans are individually tested by engineers and approved, individually tested by an architect and approved for code compilation. There is nothing that is not allowed. And they also have built-in automation. So I'm a very practical person. Rather than putting diagrams, I can also show you. So these are some of the circuits that we have developed, like programmable switches, remote control. So this you can see is already a preset is written on it. We have actually developed these technologies that goes into there. So it's automated, comes with automation. And also we are one of the most greenest technologies because of the material that we use. which are all long-lasting, recyclable, upcyclable, remodelable, etc. We can also do carbon sequestering by using material that trap carbon. All the technologies have been developed with real practical application, tested on site on real buildings. They're not theoretical; they are actually absolutely tested. And the team consists of myself with almost 30 years of experience in varied fields connected to, and Shifali is my wife and a BTech in electrical engineering. She has been assisting me from past 12 years. So she has experience in the construction and interior business. Sanjeev Ande is expected to become a co-founder. He's taking some time to decide on that, but he has been with me for the past 2 years, has almost 40 years experience, worked with Shobha. He's a doctorate from IIM Bangalore, and is a civil engineer. Then Ramkrishnan is advising me on engineering, the steel coating, because he's been working with AkzoNobel, 40 years experience, written many. This is a market is humongous. It is next to food. Roti, kapda, makan. So makan building generally is the biggest. It's all in trillions of dollars. It will be almost 15 to 20% of our GDP will come from construction. The entire time, if you take the whole world, it is $15.6 or $16 trillion market. There's nothing even nearby comparable to that. So we are going to focus firstly on individual residential projects. That's what we are going to launch with. But soon we will have a specialty for concentrating on hostels, hospitals, schools, commercial buildings, offices, malls, etc. But initially our will be ground plus 1, ground plus 2, ground plus 3 residential buildings. That will be our this thing. Market, we have a lot of experience in marketing. I don't want to go into it now with all the artificial intelligence and automated marketing, digital marketing. We will be in all the sectors available. And this is our current look and feel of our company. We have registered, one of my proudest thing is that I have registered something called preset. So now the preset can be used as a word. Oh, it's a preset ka building hai. So probably India's first branded building. Building ka koi brand nahi hota hai. So we can say this is preset house, this is preset building. हम preset में school बनाएंगे, हम preset का farm house बनाएंगे. एक preset ऊपर एक bedroom बनाते हैं preset का technology. So preset can replace the word construction. We've got about 45 lakhs pre-seed funding from family and friends, and I have put my own funding more than 2-3 crores, and we have got 5 crores worth of orders on hand. We have received about 2 crores of advance. We have done some projects. We are recognized as Startup India. We are registered there. We have applied for IP, that is in terms of what is it called, intellectual property. We are MSME. So we have a lot of things that has already happened. We are ready to go. I'm seeking a funding of about 10 crores. Now 10 crores is an asset light model. So earlier my calculation led me to 50 crores. We did all kind of magajmari and try to outsource the manufacturing of many other things. The minimum amount I need in terms of machinery is around 6 crores, and 4 crores will be my working capital for a whole year. This will have a capacity to produce more than 100 crores worth of turnover every year, minimum. It can be pushed to even 150 crores. So you just imagine, just 10 crores for a whole year. At the end of the year, we have a capacity of more than 100 crores every year. So, and capacity can be increased by just pumping in a little bit of money. All technology has been tested on real buildings, as well as experimenting and prototyping done with professionals. Our own architectural team has done it. We have been selected as top 100 in the last December Forbes India magazine. We are featured as top 100 promising startup. We have been selected out of 5,500 startups as top 100 promising by IFDC and Money Controls and CNBC. So this, we could have done more, but I didn't go following that. These are examples of real projects tested with preset technology, the Jugaad version of it. I don't have the preset accurate, the real preset, which needs a factory, which is what I'm seeking funding for to scale. But by hand, we have done projects using the technology. So my ask is 10 CR for setting up an asset light and a highly scalable global company, which we can use for even exporting to other countries. Thank you very much. I think I just took
That's really great, Hamza.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I am amazed to see this particular technology.
Thank you.
Great. So quickly, I'll have a couple of questions and then I'll invite
I
investors.
think some people have already raised a hand.
Yes, yes, they have raised.
I'll leave it.
I'm just messaging. Okay, so what is the status of your payment? Patent.
Yeah, so patent, we have applied for a patent for our connector system. I mean, I can physically show you that. So we have developed a connector system, which is basically clicks into they're very modular and all that. An older version of it we applied for, but I understood that unless we are ready to be in the market, we are not pursuing it. So it came for review and all that, but we didn't push it. So I have deliberately held back on giving away too much of information into the open market when I myself am not ready with the material to deliver. So this is more to do with speed to market than to do with IP. So because we will be constantly developing.
My question is simple. See, I am more interested in understanding the patent because that gives me exclusivity in the market to scale my business.
Yes. So this, for example, this system is developed by me over 2 years of continuous experimenting and this thing. So like that, I will have about minimum 4 to 5 patentable technologies within the ecosystem to start with. But we will have continuous process going on, including home automation. We are literally reinventing some of the methods. We are not pursuing it, but we have got this our preset copyrighted. So it's a registered trademark, preset building systems, and preset and the logo, which itself is a big deal, I feel.
Okay, so what's the valuation and the deal structure you are expecting?
Yes, so in the market that I'm in, buildings, real estate, construction, thousands of crores is the potential way in which we can actually do business. Therefore, by having a solution that can do buildings at, even if you don't believe me, that is 10 times faster. Let's say it is only four times faster, which means we can do 4 buildings in the space given for 1 building. So if somebody did one building in a year with the same set of fixed cost of salary, rent, etc., we can do 4 buildings, which means we can turn over 4 times with the same fixed expenditure. So we can do a lot of business faster, bigger. So my projection has been around 10,000 crores in about 5 years. That is my project. So you might say, wow, how is it possible? So if you go back to my presentation, because it's very easy to disbelieve that, what I did was, can I show you a company that is possibly similar in some ways, but not necessarily fully similar, but what is their turnover? So there is a company called Everest. They do some kind of factory buildings and material for factory, etc. So you can see this competitive landscape. So this Everest, their annual turnover is 12,440 crores, and many of you may not even heard of it. Yeah, so they are in the field of prefab construction and supply material related to that. So imagining a 10,000 crore business is not a big deal, because if you take, for example, Brick and Bolt, who are doing just ordinary construction with literally bricks, and they have done 3,000 projects. So it is not impossible to scale. So my current valuation is 100 crores, and I have got funding at that price, as well as co-founders.
So did you raise fund at 100 crores?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's it from my side. Now I'll open the forum to ask the questions. Investors, if you have got any question, you are pleased to ask. I guess Alpesh was there to ask. Then.
Hi, this is Hitesh here.
Hi,
so
Hitesh.
Can you throw some light on the cost structure? Like, what will be the cost difference between the traditional way of doing that versus your way of doing it?
Yes. So since India doesn't have a metric to measure that, globally, internationally, especially in USA, where there's a history of prefabrication over 100 years, it has been shown that prefab construction usually is 15 to 20% cheaper than normal construction in an established market like US. Mm-hmm. in India, we will probably land at about the same price as a normal construction. But once we scale up our production and iron out all the initial teething process and logistics, we can beat the price of a conventional construction by the same margin, but may not be all at once. Maybe we'll start with 5%, then we can go over. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a quick turnaround. So even if we lowered our margin by 50% and then we do 4 times, so we will actually still be profitable, albeit a little bit more scale is required.
So you have made any cost sheet or any cost comparison, something like that? Because
we have done real buildings and we have created the cost structure. See, in construction, it is not easy to compare because we are not comparing two identical buildings located in the identical place. If you do that, then our construction currently in the handmade way, that the way we are doing now without the preset manufacturing process, is coming to around 10 to 20% more expensive than conventional. So once we have production capacity and speed of execution increased from current 7 months to say just 2 months, then the price structure can be brought down because our labor component will be reduced. Our wastage will be almost zero. So these things will add value to us. So I would dare say that it can be offered at the same cost. That is guaranteed. We can even bring it down. Because I've been in the prefab construction field for now almost 8 years. To 2015, we started the prefab company, not preset, another company.
So does that mean now we will be saying that you can save a much time and hurdle for the construction, plus in future you can save 15 to 20% of the construction cost when you will be having the factory on all preset machines?
Yes, not only that, even to the current customers, we can say an ordinary building after say 10 years or after it's fulfilled its requirement has no value because it's basically dust. Mitti, like you have to pay money to demolish it and you don't know what to do with all the debris. In preset construction, there are 2-3 advantages. One, because the walls are thinner, you get more carpet area. So that itself will cover for your extra amount that you're going to spend because you're getting more carpet usable area. Secondly, it'll have intrinsic value. For example, let's say you spend 10 lakhs to build a house. After 20 years, you might still get back about 4-5 lakhs of your amount because the steel only slowly increases in cost. It may not go as fast as gold, but if you just imagine, 10 years ago, steel was being sold at 16 rupees, 20 rupees a kilo. Now it is 70, 80 rupees. So quite a bit of 8x, 10x jump has happened within this 10, 15 years. So intrinsic value is one, then recyclability. And we cannot devalue the environmental friendliness of this structure, right? We cannot say, I don't care about environment, I just save me 100 rupees a square foot. We can't afford to say that anymore. So material that we use, steel is 100% recyclable. It's the only material on earth that can be 100% recycled continuously. There is no other material, man-made material. There is nothing like that which can be reused, reshaped, remelted, added to other metals, mixed up. So that is one advantage. Our panels and all are well made, can be crushed and repurposed. So there will be almost zero wastage and a continuous life cycle will be there, long life cycle will be there. So that's also a value. But Indians, we don't look at it like that, but we have to start looking at it like that.
Okay.
It's a long answer. Sorry, it has to be qualified, so I gave a long
No, thanks.
rather than just saying it's cheaper or expensive. Sorry.
Yeah, hi, Amsa. This is Piyush. Actually, I have one question as well.
Yeah, hi, Piyush. Please.
So, what is the lifespan of this technology, right? So, the conventional technology, we saw that like it can go up to 100 year plus. So, people have a lot of trust and
yeah.
that,
Show me a 100-year-old apartment or anything like that. All apartment come for redevelopment in 25-30 years. 40 years, so it's condemned actually. So that is a very imaginary way of. But if you build your house with stone, like how our temples are built, then it can last for thousands of years. The pyramids and all, like God knows how many years old. But normal concrete construction, the life among us engineers and professionals and among bankers, they'll tell you 20 years to 30 years maximum. Things start cracking up and leak, so many things. I just went today morning to a very fancy building. 20 years now, they're already saying they're going to spend 35 lakhs to refurbish that building. So 100 years and all is a myth. It's not a truth. Normal buildings last for about 20-30 years. Anybody else here can counter me on that?
No, so I can counter on that, right?
Sure.
Thing is that, see, people do make it for 100 years, but they might go for development or redevelopment earlier. But the lifespan is still there, right? They might get bored of the design. They might be thinking some other ideas and all. And because of those reasons, they might be doing the redevelopment, right? And not everyone goes. For example, my paternal house is almost 30-year-old already, right? And my parents are.
But do you see that it will last for another 70 years?
I think it's pretty good situation right now. I think it's our price. Anyway, I think we don't break it.
I don't know why how buildings should outlast human beings, but suppose we accept that. What is the material I am using? What is the material that you have used in your ancestral house? Let's say steel and cement.
Yeah, steel and cement, right?
I am also using the same material.
So I am
also using the same material.
Yeah.
I was showing you, this is all steel, right? This is steel. In fact, it is galvanized. Normal steel in construction is not even galvanized. This is galvanized to prevent corrosion. So I am using steel and cement.
My question is simple. I just am looking for an answer. That conventional technology versus this technology, what is the life?
Same as conventional, I can say. See, since you are saying 100 years, so I cannot counter that. You will not believe me, even though when I am a professional 30 years in this field, and I am telling you only 30 years is the life of a building, you won't believe me. Therefore, I will go with your statement, say 100 years. My building will stand for 110 years because ours is easier to refurbish. And like you said, no, lifestyle changes. Our preset technology allows you to even change the design as required. One part can be extended, or you can remove panels and open it up, add a room, etc. So it can actually organically adapt itself to future requirement. Therefore, it will actually have an even desirable life of longer life. So that's my answer is about the same, about this. Because we are using steel and cement. There also they are using steel and cement. There the cement, the steel is embedded inside the cement. Here the steel is separate and the cement part is separate. That's the only difference.
Got it.
60,
any other
in industry, people who advertise, to people who use this similar methods, they advertise about 60 years. In the newspapers, now you can see 60 years the life of the building.
Got it. Anybody else would like to ask anything? Mandar, Dr. SP Srinivas.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope there are no questions.
I think my presentation was very comprehensive. Nobody has any doubts.
I believe
how many projects you have done till now, right? And what was the size of those individual houses? Are you able to have a complex designs incorporated? I know that you are saying that you can make apartment as well up to 10 floor and all, but in reality, where we are with respect to that, right?
Yeah.
What have been proven till now?
Yes. So preset, we have done only residential buildings, ground plus 1, ground plus 2. That's all. So we have not done large buildings yet with this technology. But we have proposed a ground still plus 4 floors right here outside my office only. Like I said, it can be done. Any number of floors can be done. The engineer will accordingly suggest the engineering requirement for that. It's adaptable. Currently, in the previous avatar as a prefab construction using the Australian technology, I have done almost 1.5 lakh square feet of construction, mostly smaller buildings. My smallest building was around 2,000 square feet or so, 1,200 square feet or something. That's the smallest. The largest residential I have done is around 8,000 square feet, a 5-bedroom house. But the largest project I have done is around 70,000 square feet, a pharma company in Vizag, using prefab technology, but not preset. Preset was born out of my experience as an architect, as a owner of a company. how people react, what do they want. So that entire understanding has resulted in developing this new technology. This new technology is a new approach altogether, where you start with an app and you play around with the design. This kind of things doesn't exist anywhere. There is no app that you can download and play around with the design and click.
So right now your app is ready and all.
No, app is. We worked on the app. I showed you some of the videos. We worked on the app, but we have put that on hold. Just like I put even the IP on hold. App by itself has no standing, so it has to parallelly come along with my production line. So when my production line is being made, I will start the app work simultaneously, because the app technology is also changing so fast. If suppose I already had made an app, say 6 months ago I started the app and now it's ready, it will be outdated by the time I am ready to launch. The app and the production has to be launched together, because the app discovers the product that is going to be made in the factory. So because so much of evolution is happening, AI and all that, we are going to time it such a way that app development, app release, and our ability to supply the component to make the building happen at the same time.
Okay. Another question is, what is your business model looks like? Are you going to replace the builders, or are you going to replace the construction companies? Right? Where exactly you stand?
Yeah. To the large extent, I will be the last person to approach builders, and probably even last to approach government, unless we reach a big scale where we can afford to do all that. Initially, it is basically a direct to customer individual approach, where somebody is looking to build somewhere where they cannot supervise, it's far off places, or somebody, for example, I'm going day after tomorrow to a hill station in Karnataka, where somebody wants to put up 5 cottages in his this thing as a Airbnb thing. So place people like that. He's an individual, but he wants to build all 5 cottages at once, along with some other little place for dining and all. So people like this are the ones that I'm doing. And one from Calicut, I got an inquiry where they are doing a township, small township in a 18 acres land, which will have a auditorium and a clubhouse and about 200 villas. So these are the kind of people who are approaching me, but they are individuals, but not necessarily they are coming for only one building at a time. But what we have done are individual projects. Like suppose you want to build a nice bungalow somewhere in Lonavala or something, then I will be the ideal person for you, because you don't have to go sit there and
technology, like how the load balancing, other thing is taken care. Let's say if I want to make 100 feet by 500 feet of hall, right? Without having any partitions in between, which generally happens.
It's already available. So what is my contribution to that? It's already possible to do that, right?
So with this technology can...
No, this technology is no different. It's basically a PB's technology. So we will not compete where a more efficient technology is already available.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, for example, if I'm a car manufacturer, I can't sort of stack up 5 cars and say it's a bus. So because then it won't work out in terms of so many aspects, right? So we will concentrate on things that are, for us, adds value to the customer. And the customer feels, okay, this is value addition. Large factories, we will come there eventually, but already people are able to do it at a very, very efficient manner, because it's been there from 100 years. My solution is, if an individual wants to build a school, for example, summer holiday started today, bell rang. I don't know if these days bell rings or you get a WhatsApp message. I don't know. So kids run out. They come back after 5 weeks, 6 weeks. They have a nice, beautiful school block. No mess, no all things sticking around, dangerous place. Nothing. It's a beautiful building will be up. So this is where I feel preset will score. So to answer you, builders are not my target. Government is not my target.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Hamza, for rolling.
Okay, Hamza, I got one more question. You said that you need this particular funding to put up your factory, and 4 crores for the working capital.
Yes. That includes 1 year of rent for the factory.
And at the same time, you mentioned that this 10 crore can help you reach 100 crores of business.
Yes. So
Okay.
it will have a production capacity of 100 crores.
Got it.
Yeah.
So how much time you will need to put up the factory? Let's say
6 months, I will be ready to roll out. So that
6
means,
months.
yeah. So even in the first year of investment itself, I'll have half a year, 2 quarters to do business. So if you see my projection in the thing that I've shared with you, you will see that we have aimed at around 40 crore turnover even in the first 2 quarters itself. But
Okay.
we will be starting
And-
selling at 3 months of receiving, or even as soon as we receive funding itself, we'll start pre-selling, pre-launch marketing. All that will be there. We'll be telling people, okay, we'll be able to supply 6 months from now, but we will create the brand building and the buzz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I say like this, from today, if you get the investment in 1.5 year, you have the capacity to make a business of 160 crores?
Yes.
Got it. That was I wanted to know.
Thank you. And we have many other value adds. For example, we could upsell furniture, upsell accessories, upsell fans and lights and carpets and curtains.
That may
I'm just saying.
dilute your vision as well.
I'm just saying. So there's so many things are there. We can always tie up with other vendors and thoda wo upar ka cream, a little bit of cherry on the icing kind of stuff.
That's great.
In those things, yeah. That's what.
Great. Amar, do you have any questions? I believe Amar is not. Okay. So to conclude, preset is a new age construction technology which can help the people and individual to build their houses, farmhouse, small resorts, schools. They can save a good amount of time. And when Hamsa and Preset will have the factory, they could save the 15 to 20% of the cost as well. And I believe you want to build with the vision to create a company which is a tech-oriented construction company, which can save the money, which can save the time, and it could be more efficient.
And save the environment.
Save the environment. That's the more important.
That's very important. Not necessarily the most important, but it's absolutely important.
That's great. And by this, I call it for a day. Thank you so much, Hamsa. Thank you all the investors to participate here. I'm going to share the deck of Hamsa with all the interested investors, and I'm going to share the contacts of the investors with the Hamsa as well. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you for all your time. Thank you.